And yeah, like I said, I'm trying to figure out why this guy's card isn't working. There's probably either a short somewhere or something. I can't even seem to find anything. I have looked all over the place. I found no trace of, well, no pun intended. No trace of damage on the card or anything like that. So I know for a fact the card is in really good shape. But apparently the motherboard refused to not work with the card. So I'm gonna figure out what some of these jumpers do, because I know this one right here, I don't know if you guys can see there or not. This one right here, that's right next to, oops, if I can point my finger in the right spot, there we go. Okay, so this one right here, it has 4 jumpers, that's for the external battery. That one's for, let's say, power. I have no idea what this one over here does, right next to the BIOS chip. I might as well remove that off of there. I was trying to use my tablet as the main streaming thing, but apparently it wasn't working, so I figured I might as well just use my phone again for it. Let's go ahead and remove the card carefully. Place it somewhere so I won't forget it, which of course I might forget like where I put it as always. Let's see here. I have no idea what JP2 does, but let's go ahead and power on the computer and see if it does anything. Like I said, the computer does turn on, so I figured JP2 must be something for the EISA slot. But I digress. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the jumper that controls it. I don't have any documentation for this motherboard, unfortunately, because, well, there's no motherboard setting jumper online about it. Yeah, still nothing. So I removed the jumper that's right next to the AT power supply, right next to the CN3 or JP1, and nothing. I thought that would fix it, but apparently it does not do anything. I'm gonna put that jumper back in place there. Fortunately, I always carry a lot of jumpers. Rare for me to figure out my hands in there. So I have for having huge hands, or as one politician would say, huge. Yeah, that doesn't do anything. It's gotta be this card. If you guys are wondering, I looked for shorts. I didn't see any on the card. Like no Puff the Magic Dragon Smoke or anything like that. So I gotta go figure out what's going on with the... Because, like I said, there's a couple... Okay, so JP1... I'm sorry, this one right here, that's for the external battery. Then there's JP1, which controls the voltage. This one right here. No idea what that does. In fact, these ones right here, those must be ones for the cache, but I can't find any information about like how much cache this thing can take, which is rather unfortunate. These 2 jumpers right here, I have no idea what these are for, but let's go ahead and remove these off of here and see if it does anything. Okay, so the computer does turn on without this on there. Let's go ahead and reinsert the card in here again. Carefully. Right angle. Of course, swing this into the computer is a challenge, but if it does go into the socket without a problem. Yeah, still nothing. So yeah, I'm still trying to figure out like what's going on with this particular card here. I would love to put a SCSI hard drive in this thing because, well, IDE is a pain in the butt sometimes. Like sometimes it'll work, sometimes it doesn't, and of course you have the BIOS limitations. I have no idea which orientation these jumpers were at in the first place. Got the wrong screwdriver head. There goes my beagle again, barking. And my obnoxious loudmouth snook. Every single time I meet. Sorry. I had to get a couple things here, but thank you guys for tuning in. Right now I'm still trying to figure out what's going on with the SCSI card. Where the heck did I put the... Up there it is. I just have to get my screwdriver and remove a couple of cards out of here. Maybe that must be the reason why it's acting up, but I digress. Yeah, my big loudmouth Schnook dog, Droopy, barks a lot. He's very loud. And I have a beagle. She doesn't bark too much, and Droopy just went off again. So what I'm doing right now is I'm removing 2 sound cards. Well, mostly this one here. If I can get the daggum thing out of here, that'd be great. Here we go. Okay, so I got the sound card taken out of there. Alright, so this is the EISA SCSI card. Apparently, when I plug the floppy drive cable in, it doesn't turn on. So after I turn off the system, I remove the cable and plug and turn it back on. Get nothing. So I'm going to tell you my theory here by removing a couple of sound cards because it may have been there's a resource conflict somewhere. Let's see if it turns on. Yeah, still not getting anything. I don't even know if you guys can see the internet, but it looks like police sirens are going off. Or my kit car. So I'm trying to figure out what's going on with the SCSI card. Yeah, it does look like the kit car. Anyway, I'm trying to figure out what's going on with the SCSI card because I would love to use the SCSI on this 486 DLC machine or the old Larson scanner. You know, didn't think about that. And the VO cable decided to come loose. Thank you, Peter. I have to fix that. So yeah, this is a very unusual issue that I'm having. I haven't used SCSI in many years. I thought it's 8 viewers on there. Apparently my screen just must have been busticated. But yeah, when I turn it on, I guess the kit light or the silent eyes or old Larson scanner flashing of doom and nothing. No posts, no beeps, no nothing. So I was trying to figure out if there's a short somewhere on this card or something else has happened because I can't even find like any information about this motherboard here, what these jumpers do. I know these 5 jumpers right here are the ones for the cache. One's back here. I go ahead and remove the card out of the way so you guys can see better. Wiggling this thing up and down is a pain in the rear end, I can tell you that. I think it's because of the... Might be something on my end that's not working. Hey. Hey, Grumpy, nice to see you. Alright, so this is the motherboard that I have. This is one that came in the system that I bought back in June this year. We got a 486 DLC 33 in it, as well as the Mathco. This was a $10 system. The only issue they had, well, only 2 issues. Actually, the one major issue was my video card was not working on it. And the other issue was the original clock battery that was right there. Used to be the nickel cadmium type. It leaked a little bit and it put a little bit of number right here in this one trace right here that you can see this wire that I soldered on. It had really good contact still, but I didn't want to change it, so I decided to cut the trace and start from fresh again. Well, actually just solder it from like one spot to the other, but I digress. And then for this battery, this is a 4.5 volt battery method that I made, which is the old Game Boy DMG01 battery holder. It only has like 3 double A's in it, and then a couple wires, and then there's one wire that goes to the external battery connector right here at one of these pins. I can't remember which one. And then I cut a little bit of the trace right there to disconnect the charging circuit from going through. It has 2 EISA slots. It's got 8 megabytes of memory. I got a Cyrix CX486 DLC, 40GP, as well as the 387 Mathco, 40 megahertz. And I'll also upgrade the clock oscillator to 80, which of course has half the speed. Which of course some clock oscillators you have to have double the speed for it to be the exact speed of the processor. It's got 64K of cache on here, but unfortunately I have no idea how much it will take. It's got 2 different banks here. It's got bank 0, bank 1, and then you have the tag, I believe that's what it's called. Yeah, tag. One, the chips got loose somehow. So yeah, I'm trying to figure out what's going on with this SCSI card here. If Lucky Bob was here, I don't know if he has Twitch or not, but I digress. But I ask him for his guidance on the SCSI card because I am not really good at replacing or diagnosing tantalum capacitors. I know those things are very notorious for explosions. Let's go and turn on again. I'm trying to figure out if it's because of a conflict somewhere. I don't know if it's a conflict from the sound card, the video card itself, or something else. But let's see what happens when I disconnect the video card here. It's probably going to do the infamous 2 beeps and then 8 beeps, 2 small beeps and then 2 beeps and then 8 outside of beeps. Let's see what happens. Yeah, it doesn't even beep at all. There's something going on with that SCSI card. I think it must be a short somewhere, but I can't recall like where the short could be. And like I said, I would love to use SCSI on this computer because I already have the cables for it and everything. The little adapter dongle. Let's see. Here we go. Sorry about the mess. Well, anyway, this is what I got here. Got a 50-pin SCSI cable, well, I put a termination on here because I figured that's the most important factor right there for SCSI. If you're only having one drive on like a 50-pin or a 68-pin SCSI cable, they have to have the termination cable onto it. If it's the one that you can put like more than just one drive on there. But unfortunately, the SCSI card does not work on the computer. I have no idea what's going on with it. It might be a short somewhere, but I digress. So that's why I'm asking for guidance here, what I can do to get this issue eradicated. Because I'm not really good with soldering. I'm not really good with tantalum capacitors, and those things are very, very, very crappy. Wish there was a way you can actually put like regular ceramic capacitors on here, but I don't think they actually make ceramics in that same degree of trying to think of what the wording is here. Like the capacitance, like voltage, capacitance, tolerance, the whole shebang, which is rather unfortunate. But anyway, here is the SCSI card again. Look at all those chips. That is a lot of them. And I do see that there's a little marking right there in the Motorola chip. Maybe that's the reason why it's not working. Just somehow it must have shorted itself. But anyway, here's the chip. It is a Motorola MC68000F9N QEWR9111. There's a clock oscillator here, which I believe that's 10 megahertz speed, but I digress. It says 20 megahertz, but I think it downclocks it to 10. I'm not entirely sure. As you know, the EISA bus is always like 7.1 or something like that, but it depends on the computer itself, like the motherboard and stuff like that, and manufacturer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go get this CPU out of here, inspect it, and see if it somehow stopped working one day, or if it's just a loose connection somewhere. It's hard to tell. Anyway, I just need to figure out like what's going on with it, because like I plugged in the floppy cable onto this port right here. I'm not sure if it's actually for the floppy cable, if it's for a floppy cable or for something else like a Sony CD-ROM drive, which I highly doubt. And then there's a couple of these here. Let's see, that's where the cache goes. That's where the memory goes. A couple other things over here. I think that must be the floppy one, but it's hard to tell. Then you have J7, which of course I'm looking to see what J7 actually does. I can't find anything online about it. So I'm going to go pull up my tablet. Anywhere the heck I put the thing, silly thing. Here it is. Of course I have to sign in here. Hang on. Sorry for the focus. So I think the one reason why this card's not working because it could be, like I said, it could be capacitor issues, it could be this chip here, I digress. Could be a couple of other things. And I think the main one is, it might be because of missing memory modules. Now those are like very important to the computer itself, to the card itself. As the last time we used a SCSI card was a regular PCI, one that's like the same exact length like this, but a Dell variant of the Adaptec AHA. It had like the 68 pin SCSI along with 50 pin. So yeah, this is weird that the card doesn't want to work. I made sure that all the chips are seated properly, the ones that are in the IC, including these BIOS chips right here. I believe that's even and odd. Yep, even and odd. Isn't that odd? So it could be something, I don't know what it could be. It could be like a bad BIOS chip somewhere, or it could be something else. But unfortunately, we have no idea what the heck is going on. Because it should work regardless if there's a memory on here, but I haven't used a SCSI card in so long that I can't seem to recall. Let's go ahead and set the card carefully. Also, if I catch any crack on here, I'm gonna kick their butt. Just kidding. Yeah, still nothing. Get a little bit loose. Get a little bit loose down here. We have a party. Like I said, this is very, very, very unusual. And the other thing is, I know you guys see there, I got the Ghost card installed on my Pokeball, but when I try to play games, like in my music and sound effects and stuff like that, it doesn't work with DOS games because when I was trying to set it up for my, trying to think here, Duke Nukem 3D, it says there is no memory available for sound effects. I'm like, really? So I ordered some memory chips off of eBay. So I'm gonna go check and see if that fixes the issue there. I would be a little surprised if that's up. Be a little amazed if it does, but I hate the screen protector in this phone. Anyway. I'm gonna go check my tablet and see if there's anyone on there that. Alright, sorry for not speaking a lot. Still trying to figure out like what to do to get this SCSI card to work in this computer. Cause I tried to do it in like different two different slots. This one right here and the one that's right over there, right next to the power supply. Sorry, the BIOS chip. Everything in, nothing still. I think we're just having really bad luck with SCSIs for some reason. It should work theoretically without anything plugged into it, like without like the hard drive, without the cable. Yeah, without the cable connector or anything like that, it should theoretically turn on. But let's go ahead and find out what happens when I plug this in, as well as the power cable to it. Yeah, the power cable and the data cable to it, and see if it makes it bring to life or anything like that. I would be a little amazed if it requires that to be plugged in, but yeah, nothing. Even with this little adapter plugged in, nothing. Yeah, I hate SCSI everything right now. Wish it would just work. It only has like two different modes, working or not. In this case, there's just one mode, not. I don't know what to do at this point here. Seems I'm losing viewers every time. It's possible that there's a short, and right now I'm short on money at the moment, so I can't like order a bunch of like a bunch of tantalum capacitors because I'm not really good at like identifying them. And sometimes those little markers are very hard to see. I have really bad vision, and I can't see very well with my. I can't even see very small print at all, especially on tantalum capacitors, or as I call them, tantrum capacitors, because they throw a fit all the time. Yeah, I'm not sure what to do at this point here. I think it's that Motorola chip that got borked or something. Because I think that's the main brains for it. So I have to figure out how to fix that. Probably have to order a new one and put it in there and see if it does anything. If it does something, if it doesn't do anything, then I know there must be something else more than just. Actually, it's in really good shape. It's just a discoloration. If Lucky Bob was on here, I can ask him like what to do, because I'm not really good with SCSI cards. I'll just have to set this aside temporarily until I get something here, like maybe a replacement one, but it's harder to find drivers for a lot of them these days. So I'm not sure what to do at this point here. I would love to use a SCSI card on this computer, but I don't think that's going to happen because of the SCSI card not working. And to name a few, I even checked everything on my motherboard, everything's socket and everything. I don't see missing clock escalators. And the only clock escalators that are on here are just the ones for the processor as well as for the EISA slots. Well, these EISA slots. I think these are controlled by the computer's clock speed, but I digress. So I'm not sure if it's like really speed sensitive or if it's just something happened. I don't know. This is not the strongest cup of coffee I've ever had, so. There's so much dust in there. Alright, we're going to go end this session here and start a new one with the Super P54 VL PCI board. I hope I can get something off of that one. There's so much corrosion and gunk on there, it's a mess. Oh my goodness. Anyway, thank you very much for tuning in.